AI is already rewriting the rules of money faster than any previous tech wave. And number one is something almost nobody guesses, so stay tuned until we hit the final reveal at number 10. Spark of curiosity ignited in university labs when early machine learning models began outperforming traditional statistics, prompting the first wave of venture capital into AI research. Around the early 2010s, investors recognized that these algorithms could automate tasks previously thought uniquely human. This initial funding planted the seeds for a new sector where modest grants grew into multi-billion-dollar enterprises. As the technology proved its worth in image recognition and natural language processing, the financial community started tracking AI not just as a novelty, but as a potential engine for economic growth. This moment set the stage for a cascade of investments that would later reshape entire industries, hinting at the profound fiscal implications we see emerging today.
Rapidly, data exploded as the internet expanded, providing the raw material AI needed to learn and improve. By the mid-2010s, the volume of digital information doubled every 2 years, creating a feedback loop where more data fed smarter models, which in turn generated more data through applications. Companies began to monetize this loop, offering AI-driven services that cut costs and opened new revenue streams. This surge forced analysts to revise economic forecasts, as AI-enabled efficiencies began shaving millions off operational budgets across sectors. Governments noticed the fiscal upside, prompting early policy discussions about how to capture tax revenue from AI-generated savings. The rapid data growth thus became the engine that accelerated AI from a research curiosity to a mainstream economic force.
Data now powers decision-making at every corporate level, turning intuition into algorithmic insight. Firms that adopted AI analytics reported productivity boosts of roughly 1520%, according to several industry surveys. This shift allowed businesses to optimize supply chains, predict market trends, and personalize customer experiences with unprecedented accuracy. As profit margins tightened, boardrooms began allocating larger portions of their budgets to AI tools, treating them as essential capital expenditures rather than optional upgrades. The fiscal impact rippled outward. Tax authorities observed higher reported efficiencies, while labor markets felt pressure to reskill. This stage illustrates how AI's ability to turn raw data into actionable strategy began reshaping financial statements and, consequently, the broader economy.
Startups surged onto the scene, fueled by a flood of venture funding that saw AI as the next frontier of value creation. Between 2016 and 2022, AI-focused startups attracted an estimated $120 billion in global investments, according to market reports. These young companies introduced disruptive products ranging from autonomous logistics to AI-generated content, challenging incumbents and forcing traditional firms to either partner or compete. The rapid influx of capital created a competitive ecosystem where valuation spikes became commonplace, prompting regulators to consider how to tax these high-growth entities fairly. This wave of entrepreneurship not only accelerated technological innovation but also added a new layer of complexity to fiscal policy as governments grappled with capturing revenue from a fast-moving, often borderless sector.
Finance embraced AI with a fervor that reshaped risk assessment and trading strategies. Banks and hedge funds deployed machine learning models to predict market movements, detect fraud, and streamline compliance, leading to cost reductions estimated at several billion dollars annually. According to industry analysts, AI-driven automation now handles up to 30% of routine banking tasks, freeing human staff for higher-value work. These efficiencies translated into higher profit margins, which in turn increased corporate tax contributions. Simultaneously, regulators began exploring how to monitor algorithmic decision-making to prevent systemic risk, hinting at future fiscal measures aimed at AI-enabled financial activities.
Governments reacted by drafting policies that both encourage AI innovation and safeguard public revenue. Early initiatives included tax credits for AI research and development, while later proposals introduced digital service taxes targeting large AI platforms. Some nations reported that AI-related tax incentives spurred an estimated 810% increase in domestic AI investment, according to economic studies. At the same time, policymakers debated whether existing corporate tax structures adequately captured the value generated by AI-enhanced productivity. This regulatory dance created a dynamic fiscal environment where incentives and levies continuously evolved to balance growth with equitable revenue collection.
Workforce transformation unfolded as AI automated repetitive tasks, prompting a shift toward more creative and supervisory roles. Labor statistics indicate that automation displaced roughly 5% of routine occupations, while simultaneously creating new demand for data scientists, AI ethicists, and machine learning engineers. Governments responded with reskilling programs funded by a portion of AI-generated tax revenue, aiming to mitigate unemployment risks. The net fiscal impact includes both reduced payroll taxes from displaced workers and increased contributions from higher-earning AI specialists. This balancing act underscores how AI reshapes the labor market and, by extension, the tax base.
Productivity leapt forward as AI tools streamlined workflows across sectors. Studies estimate that AI integration boosted overall economic productivity by around 2–3% annually since 2020, a figure comparable to major historical technological breakthroughs. Companies reported faster product development cycles, reduced error rates, and enhanced customer satisfaction, all of which contributed to higher revenues and, consequently, larger tax contributions. This surge also sparked debates about whether traditional productivity metrics fully capture AI's intangible benefits, prompting economists to refine measurement models. The heightened productivity thus becomes a cornerstone of the AI economy's fiscal impact.
Revenue ripple effects spread through national budgets as AI-driven growth translated into higher tax receipts. Preliminary fiscal reports from several OECD countries suggest that AI-related activities added an estimated $30 billion to collective tax revenues in 2025, a number that is believed to continue rising. This influx helped fund public services, infrastructure, and further AI research, creating a virtuous cycle of reinvestment. However, analysts caution that the distribution of these gains varies widely, with some economies capturing a larger share due to stronger AI ecosystems. The fiscal picture therefore reflects both opportunity and inequality, prompting calls for more balanced tax policies.
Future outlook glimmers with possibilities as AI continues to embed itself into every economic layer. Forecasts suggest that by 2035, AI could account for up to 15% of global GDP, reshaping tax structures, employment patterns, and international trade. Some economists predict that new forms of digital taxation will emerge to capture value from AI-generated services crossing borders. Meanwhile, ethical considerations and regulatory frameworks will likely evolve to ensure that fiscal benefits are shared broadly. The story of the AI economy is still being written, and its fiscal impact will depend on how societies choose to harness, tax, and distribute the wealth generated by intelligent machines.
We've journeyed from the first sparks of AI research to a future where governments, businesses, and workers must adapt to a rapidly evolving fiscal landscape. The story shows how each breakthrough builds on the last, creating a cascade of economic transformation that you can see unfolding right now. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden layers of the AI economy, hit like and subscribe so you never miss the next mind-blowing list we drop each week. Which insight surprised you most? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.